Hello everyone, this is Gabby Rainbow Pie Gibson coming at you with another Studio Rumble game tonight on this wonderful Sunday evening. We are in week 3 of the Studio Rumble tournament, which is a fun, awesome little thing put together by some volunteers to get some camaraderie in the video game industry. Tonight's match, we're going to be playing on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and this is going to be level appropriate versus Who Watches the Overwatch. It's the first game for tonight. Level appropriate is individuals coming from us from EA, Tiburon, people who love playing games, you know, like most of us in the industry, want to get together. You know, this isn't super high stress, this isn't for money or anything, but it's just people wanting to have some fun, have some glory. And then on the other side of the match is going to be Who Watches the Overwatch, which comes at us from GSN Games. So both of these teams, we are playing on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is a push point map. Got one team's going to be taking the offense at half the time. They'll be trying to push a cart to the end to the rocket, send that probe off into space, help Winston get the whole Overwatch team back together. The other half's going to be trying to stop them all along the way. We've got 4 control points up in here that they'll have to push the carts through. Each of those extending the timer by just a little bit. So how this is going to be determined is if one team can both completely attack and then completely defend, we'll get a 2-0. Both teams can succeed in attacking, or both teams succeed in defending, then it's whoever can have finished first, or whoever who can have hold out the longest will get that extra point for it to be 2-1. So right now we are currently sitting in the lobby, waiting for people to get set up, figure out those last minute strategies. As the defense, you've got a lot of choices you need to make. What kind of defense do we want to put up? Are we going for more of a skirmishy type defense where we're just going to be harassing them, going for more of those kills? Or are you going to be setting up, trying to get those, you know, strong points in, make it so that whenever they're coming through those kill points, they get mowed down by Bastion or Torbjorn or Symmetra, you know, anyone else who can do really well and getting stuff set up. Whereas on the offense, you know, you've got a little more choices in terms of course, you got to get the cart moving, but you have to be able to, you know, break up whatever the defense puts into you. It gives you a lot more of a reactionary type position. A lot of the times you see stuff like Reinhardt works really well on the control point, because once he gets on that point, he can protect everyone who's sitting next to that cart, getting that passive healing over time. And then launching down barrages on the enemy, wherever they are and whoever they are. One of the other things that I've seen that tends to work well in a lot of this is how well of a sniper you can get going, you know. The nature of these sorts of paths is you know exactly where people are going to be coming into. So you can take advantage of that, snipe them out as soon as that cart comes around a corner, or someone starts moving towards a cart. Boom. A little more difficult on the offense, but you still need some of that long-range assault. You know, with the Soldier 76, with Farah hiding behind a Reinhardt, she'll be incredibly powerful. Alright, so we are loading into the game at this point. We're on Watchpoint Gibraltar. So Red is going to be attacking for the first time. Red is from level appropriate, EA Tiburon. So with that we have Renwold as Farah, Timus as Genji, Doubt as Mercy, No Feta as Soldier 76, Elta as Widow, and Skindred as Reinhardt. And then on the defense we have Who Watches the Overwatch, where we have Noct as Junkrat, Kig as Soldier 76, Snowboarder as Winston, Mablis as Zarya, Illo as Widowmaker, and Mr. Dandy as Mercy. And it looks like so far they are going to be setting up back here on this second point, which we've seen a couple of times, for better or worse for some people. Now I think the reason for a lot of this is most people are hoping to play around the kill position that you can get with up here, rather than fighting for the skirmish position up here, which can then lead to you getting completely thrown off unable to set up again, opting to give up this first point for the hopes of a better hold onto the second point. So we have setup happening in.
I'm escorting the payload! Let's keep
On
it
the point.
moving!
Got the Reinhardt topping up, getting that shield in place. Soldier 76, Mercy sitting up behind. Genji and Farah just making sure the backline's clear, there's no cheese shenanigans. And this cart is going to be happily moving in across the first point.
I have found the enemy! Come and face me!
4:30, that's going to be knocked down. 2 more minutes added to the clock, and now we've got the bombardment starting to happen. Junkrat happily lobbing grenades into there. Does manage to pick up Soldier 76. Reinhardt slowly pushing forward. Winston sees an opportunity, seizes it, jumps for the Widowmaker. Widow able to take him down just in time, having the backup of that Mercy, healing up. Widow normally on her own has a lot of trouble with that Winston, but with backup can do quite a bit. Got Pig shooting out a lot of damage. Kindred just standing on the cart. No one's contesting that, getting on the cart, which means with 5:50 remaining on the clock, second point is taken by the red team. 2 more minutes added onto the clock, and we are now moving into the third section. So that holding off at that big point just didn't quite work out for them. Winston still just sitting on the cart. That objective time for him is just ticking up. While Soldier just sitting behind, lobbing out some stuff. Illo trying to get some shots off, but having to work around that big rectangle. Making that pretty difficult.
Payload secured. Move out.
Big takes out the bar on the back line. Couple more trades coming in. Resurrection from the offense, bringing 2 back up. Justice raining from above, but gets sniped down. Before she can do too much, Soldier particularly good at dealing with those spares. The accuracy can hit 4 rounds out without losing your accuracy. And no better theta. Popping the ultimate, taking 2 down. Good shield out by defensive Winston. Keeps him alive just a little bit longer. Tig coming back with another ultimate, taking down the opposite Soldier. So who's got the most medals? And for the first time, the cart has been stopped. Defense, snowboarder, going ape onto the back line, or the front line. Dim is skirmishing out a little bit, but we've got Farah caught out on the inside, jumps out to the outside. Getting a little bit of damage, at least taking out the Mercy. Particularly good at making sure that hampering the rest of the team back up. Renwold finally going back to his own back line, getting some healing done. A little bit of fighting happening in the back line.
Heroes never die.
And a offensive Mercy all brings just one back up. But it does keep this skirmish going. Renwold taken down by the Soldier 76 he was dealing with. Snowboarder looking to go in onto the backside. Finds the Mercy, finds the Soldier. Mercy bouncing up to an ally. But Winston, with some help, does manage to take the Soldier down. Looks like the red team is finally stalled out on this third point here. Elza looking to snipe in, but some bombs being lobbed out by the Junkrat. Or no, that is the Zarya. Effect, just slightly different particles. Renwold taken out again by Zarya with a little bit of help from that Widowmaker, I believe. Kindred trying to push up. Got a little bit of support from behind. Pig just playing some suppressive fire down, trying to get threat onto that Mercy, but Snowboarder's coming in to try and finish the job. Does get the kill, jumps back out to safety. It's just a sliver of health alive. And he's going to be able to recover that up with the defensive Mercy. Getting some good charge onto that Winston. Of course, his ultimate's already up. More ultimates up on the defense. Great for the offense. Oh wait, no. Back up to 5 ultimates, but we've got a death, so all that comes back out. I'd like to see them regroup, but Tilda and Winston trying to go in big, getting a lot of damage out. He's on his own, but manages to take out the Mercy before yet again going back in. Kig popping the ultimate, getting a lot of suppressive fire down. Or no, not Kig, it was Noveta Feta. Taking down Kig, taking out Kig. No, Snowboarder coming back in.
Heroes never die.
Defensive Mercy ultimate bringing just one back up, but Skindred follows up with the ult, slams in, but good Zarya's shield protecting people. And just dies for his trouble. The offensive Mercy has been killed.
Fire at will.
Zarya holds, catching two, lobbing down the damage. And they are taken down, and yet again, defense holds. More and more minutes remaining. And with a bunch of ultimates just used, we still have the offensive ultimate, so I'd like to see, once Elza gets that Zarya ultimate, see if we can't get a good push with that Zarya's ultimate, synchronizing really well with both Pharah and Reaper. But Snowboard going in, trying to get some more harassment down. Oh, the Pharah ult had to be blown! And Snowboarder just backs out and be like, nope, I don't want any part of that. I will take the ultimate for nothing.
Let us move it!
And Snowboarder been doing some serious work on this Winston. Knowing just where to jump in, get a lot of harassment down right now. Oh, goes in a little too deep that time. Isn't quite able to finish it out with the asking catch. Timmons going with the ultimate, but the rest of the team's just backing out and letting him get nothing for it. Elza now with the ultimate, charging up pretty well. See that being fairly big. 60. Taking a
Ultimate's ready.
This will protect us.
Another group up. Kig's trying to get some rest on the side. Doubt trying to stay out of the way, but gets caught far back. Takes some damage for the trouble. Gets finished off by the Zarya. Looks like that push
Heroes
push
never
through
die.
either.
For a
Another
price.
defensive ultimate from Mercy. Bringing some friends back up. Winston smacking into Renwald, doing some damage, saying, no, Elza, get off the cart, this is mine. You can't have it, dropping the shield to just back up and heal yet again. Winston, particularly really good as a disruption tank. The shield lets him change when he wants to engage, you know, prevents a few hundred points of damage. Low cooldown, you know, that 6 seconds on the jump gives him a lot of mobility, especially in this part where you have jump into areas that can't necessarily be seen. And Redwall getting trapped in the enemy Junkrat's trap. It's quickly finished off. That 6-second cooldown, Snowboard is able to just bounce back to his team, stay up alive, but it looks like we finally got a good group from the offense. Zarya ultimate only picks up one. Snowboarder gets taken down, but the cart is starting to push again. Kig looking to get something in from the side or behind. Mercy's gone down below.
Never die.
Defensive
For a
ultimate's just
price.
bringing up that
Heroes
Winston, being
never
that
die.
disruptive line. The offensive Mercy brings up two. Reinhardt still on the cart, but the red team having a little bit of trouble getting some of that group behind to use that rectangle. Looks like some of the communication isn't entirely there. Reinhardt goes
Fire
down.
at will.
And now the defensive Zarya ultimate catches three. All three brought down. With 1 minute remaining on the clock, looks like this is going to stall out yet again on the third point. We've got just one offensive ultimate available in the Reinhardt, which can do a lot of crowd control, but things like that Winston shield, that Zarya shield can stop it in its tracks. Looks like red team is deciding they were going to group up. They realize they've got one last push coming in. Looks like we've got to switch over to Hanzo, hoping to get a little more long-range pressure down. Hanzo struggling against stuff like Widowmaker, but since both Widowmakers have switched out to hoping to get a little bit more damage onto that, especially some of those corners at the end. Winston, though, getting a lot of damage out, knocking them out, saying, hey, get off my point. Kindred, without anyone behind him, just getting knocked around. And Timmons, though, goes into the back line, comes up huge, gets 4. Great play by that Reaper. Oh, there's just some fighting up at the front line. Reaper goes into the back line and says, nope, I don't want you here. Get out of my house. And with just a few seconds remaining on the clock, third point is captured by the offensive team here. So now they've got one more point, 2 more minutes to go. Nox just laying down some harass from the side. Trying to block up, but does manage to take down that Reinhardt with the help of Zarya. Good uses of the Zarya shield there onto him too. You know, as Zarya, you're always looking for people to charge the shield up. Do a lot of big damage that way. But it looks like the offense has finally figured out what they're trying to do. There's just the McCree sitting in the back line. Doesn't have the ultimate quite yet. You know, a high noon from behind can be absolutely devastating, but it's just not there. Instead, he's just opting to poke everybody out. Oh, Nox comes in big. We saw that Riptire just rolling from the side, take out 3. But his ultimate brings them right back up from Mercy.
Re-engaging.
McCree continuing to
Fire
harass
at
from the
will.
side. Ultimate just about charged up. Offensive Zarya ult manages to
Heroes
pass
never
them. No
die.
bit of Feta bringing down 2. Timmins with another one. Mercy ult bringing them back up. Still got a fight in our hands. And now Illo from behind does have that McCree ult, so let's look where it goes. Oh, it's high noon, but it's the shield that's blocking everything. Does manage to take out one that can't be found with the shield. Skinner taking a fair amount of damage, but not enough to pierce through that shield entirely. McCree is finally taking out the side. He had enough of that harass from behind. But while he gets taken out, the offense or defense decides to push through, wipe out the front line. 18 seconds on the clock, and I don't think they're going to be able to make it into it in time. Redwold's the closest on that Mercy. Downstairs with Hanzo, 10 seconds left. No one's who can touch in, no benefit. Going for the mad dash in, trying to get the touch on. Gets the touch, will have some overtime, gets a little bit of peel off. Keep that surviving just a little bit longer, and the rest of the red team's moving up in. Zarya ultimate onto the point. Catches a bunch of the defense, or offense. 3 taken down, 4 taken down, including the Mercy. 5's down, 6 down. That's going to be the game. Good hold there at the end. Good use of the Zarya ultimate. Good hold. And defense wins. So now we'll be moving into the back half of this.
Play of the game.
Fire at will.
That Zarya ultimate. Just given to Winston there, seems to boatloads of damage.
Epic.
Let's see how quickly
Impressive.
things can turn on their heads when we have teams switched around. Defense is now the offense. Offense is now the defense. Got both teams starting to switch up. So now on this time, we've got EA Tiburon on defense. Is level appropriate. Who watches the Overwatch on the offense? Offense still deciding who all they want on the team, but for the defense, we've got Mercy, Mei, Roadhog, Widowmaker, Symmetra, and Bastion. So we're going to be going for a bit more of an emplacement setup here. On the offense, we've got Mercy, Tracer, Winston again, McCree, Zarya, and Widowmaker. So we're still going for both of those. Widowmaker starting up early. Imagine we'll adjust that as needed. Widow particularly good against the Bastion. So we'll see how well those sightlines can get lined up. Don't have as much flanking from the defense, so that could possess some problems, but I see Snowboarder still liking that Winston. That was working out pretty well for him last game. He'd go in, get a block to harass
I'll be
down,
busy
drop
soon
a
enough.
shield, and jump away.
Vincent, are you experiencing any issues with your connection?
About to get started. Looks like we've got our turret set up right around the corner here. Bastion looking like he's gonna get set up up top. Might be waiting just a little bit to make that final decision for where that turret mode gets engaged. But now the red team going out. We've seen some of the people who are just going around from the side, making sure that building gets cleared out. Noct and Winston coming up on the front line. Shield blocking out a lot of that damage from Timus, making it hard for him to find contact. Noct having to bounce back. Let's follow this Tracer as she goes in from the side. She sees where the Bastion set up, and now the Bastion seeing her. She does manage to jump around to the side, get a little bit of health before going from the fight. Timus afraid of that, keeping an eye out, waiting for Tracer to come back while the rest of the team pushes forward. Ableist and Danny being held out. As the defense rolls up onto the point.
Group up.
They just landed on some harass. Willow trying to get some people sniped out.
Now I feel alive.
Looking for targets still. Tries to go for the Mercy. Couple of misses. Does manage to get the finish though. Dueling with the enemy Widowmaker. Gets taken down. 1 for 1. Table's in as Zarya. Getting some decent damage blocked off. Well, Kindred
Heroes
going off
never
to the
die.
side being like, please don't come through that way. We would like to hold you as long as possible. We don't want you to time on the clock.
Barrier active.
We're not giving up a single point here. There's Snowboarder getting a lot of damage down on the Warthog. Goes big with the mail and says, no, get out of our house.
hide.
Snowboarder trying to get on the back line is on to Timus as the Bastion. Knocking him around. He's pushed far forward.
Destroy it.
And he's just continuing to cross some harassment. May ultimate onto the point. Pushes the rest of the offensive back. Halo trying to snipe up. You can see it occasionally popping around corners. Looking for a different angle as she moves around to the side. It's just a Widow Mine. Now Bastion coming in with the ultimate. Looking to get a couple. Gets one. Gets two. Gets taken out. Gets brought back. And now Reaper coming in from behind. Getting two.
Enemies detected.
2 minutes 30 remaining on the clock, so taking a lot more time for this offense to get through that front point. Timus is set up, trying to get a lot of shooting down.
Enemy seen.
Takes down one, gets taken down. And with 2:20 remaining on the clock, first point is finally taken. Oh, Widow. I think Widow were made of. Or would be, you know, she wasn't a total bastard. Killed her husband.
My ultimate is ready. Let's work together. No one can hide from
That's
my
not cool.
sight.
Alright, Roadhog trying to get in from behind. Gets the Zarya of all people. Which means it's a bit caught out of position. May ultimate separating the team just a little bit. Timus tries to get a good ultimate in. Gets dropped. No, that was not trying to get an ultimate.
My
It's
ultimate
taken out
is
by
on
the
my sight.
other Tara.
That's so low.
May just being that natural pain in the side that you're thinking like, you know, you're gonna take just a little bit longer to advance. You're gonna have to come around the wall. I'm not gonna make it easy on you.
No one can
Snowboarder
hide
switching
from my
over
sight.
to that Reinhardt, trying to be a little bit more of a wall rather than that disruption tank that we saw in Winston. Reinhardt really good at working with the team, providing that barrier for everyone else to work with. If you can play it just right, the damage of the charge in and the surprising mobility of that can be particularly effective. Oh, Elza just hitting them from behind. Find herself back out. The soldiers probably taken out. It's the fire at will, but the May wall protecting everyone, not letting them follow up with the Zarya. Good use, May, using that wall to stop off the ultimates before they can become a thing. Snowboarder trying to charge in, finds himself alone. Pulled in, gets taken down. Zarya as well. Good wall separating people off from the side. But both tanks being brought back up by the Mercy. May trying to get a little bit of damage down. Freezes out the Reinhardt. And looks like that's going to be enough to finish him. 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Got Widow continuing to snipe out from the side, finding that harass, making it much more difficult with these channeled points coming in. So, this is one of the things that I really like about, really, you don't give up that first point.
Payload is stuck.
You know, I think that's part of why the other team was able to make it so far. It's because they got that first point in 30 seconds, you know. Every little second of this counts, you know, fighting for that first bit, the card only moves so fast. And Snowboarder decided, hey, no, I'm a better Winston player. I'm just going to play that. I know what I like.
No one
Heroes
can hide
never
from
die.
my sight.
Fortress.
Offensive Mercy bringing some people back up and quickly getting that ultimate charge back up. Constantly heal. Timus, though, getting in 2, getting 3, going in for Mr. Dandy. Doesn't want him to be able to ult, though. 56% means that's not going to happen.
My teleporter has been destroyed.
Gets
The
pushed
way
out a
is
little
closed.
bit. Pig into the back line. Getting some harassment done before getting taken out by Symmetra. Symmetra working really well at those
Join.
close ranges with the
Group up.
auto aiming capability of her melee attack, or her left mouse attack.
Enemy
so.
seen.
With very little remaining on the clock, should be looking at 1 or 2 maybe more pushes in from the offense. Timus though going in, harassing from the outside. You know, Farah working really well in 3D spaces, being able to play that harassment game, buy just a few more seconds of the game
I'm moving the
and have to
payload.
deal with Looks like we've got a ultimate coming in from the offense. Zarya just gets the one. Snowboarder going in deep, and Pig popping the
They're almost out of time.
and get a couple down. We've got 2 down on the defense. Mercy just rezzed as we come back up here shortly. Mail ults the cart, making it difficult for them to push onto it. Gets the hook onto Tracer, but Tracer able to dash out before Nobita can get that single auto and melee in, which is really all it takes. 6 seconds on the clock. May doing some serious work and blocking them off. Prevent them from getting onto the point. Snowboarder though knocks them aside, manages to get just a little bit closer. We're just a few meters away from it. However, Novafetta ults, but then gets taken out. The offense is looking to push in. Skindra is trying to delay as long as she can, but finally goes down, and in overtime, second point is taken. We've got 2 minutes to push all this way. It took last time
Let's keep this moving.
7 minutes for the offense to push through. This is going to be particularly rough. They're going to need to get some momentum, get that cart rolling, and not let the defense set up. Elza, though, taking out one, breaking a little bit of that momentum. Let's see if they can't get any more. Snowboarder going in from the side, trying to get some damage down. Farah bounces away. Mercy follows to keep her up and alive, doing damage. Winston skating and taking
Let's keep it
2/3
moving.
health to half. Following everybody around, Winston finally managed to take out the Mercy. Timus, though, gets a good ultimate onto the cart, takes down 2 before it gets taken out by the Soldier
No one
46.
can hide from my sight.
The
Join.
scanning of the Soldier is pretty good against the airborne Farah, who can dodge around. Makes it really hard to take some of those more lobbed or angled travel-based attack. Kid ulting, preventing people from getting through, and the cart is starting to push again. Elza moving forward as that Zarya, while alone, does manage to delay the cart just a little bit, but the rest of the team ends up having to get it back up, and with 45 seconds on the clock, take the 3rd point.
Enemy contact.
Heroes never die. For a price.
So,
They've been revived.
while they took much longer for the 1st and 2nd point, they do take the 3rd point with much more time on the clock. Not sure how that works with the rules. We'll see if they can take the game, though. 2 minutes remaining for that last push.
Highlight ready
Defense
to
is
roll.
finding themselves having to regroup again.
Let's try that again. Get cover.
But trying to get a good damage down. Tracer, though, getting some good damage down. A good ultimate, sticks them. Keg with some kills. We've got 3 down right now. The cart's continuing to push. Everybody's on it. 1 minute, 50 remaining. And what looked like a much different pace is now completely turning around as knocked on that Tracer
My
isn't
tactical
letting them
visor
set
is
up.
charging.
Snowboarder also going in. The Bastion killed before he can go into sentry mode while that cart is continuing to push. 140 remaining on the clock.
one can hide
getting some good harassment down on the point, making it right just a little bit more. Offensive ultimate from the Zarya gets, what's that, 4 people? But May walling them off, saying, no, we don't want you to follow up with that. And Timus does finally get set up off to the side. Novafetta misses the hook, and the offense is having
Heroes
to regroup
never
just
die.
a little bit.
For a
Mercy
price.
ultimate come back up, bringing up 2. All 6 are here. Illo trying to get sniping out, takes out the Bastion. We've got 2 down on the defense. Hanzo ultimate onto the point, but the rest of the offense is able to regroup up. Novafetta getting some
Fire at
ultimate,
will.
taking a couple down. Now we've got another Zarya ultimate, this time from the defense. But again, not able to get the kills out, just getting 1. Roadhog trying to go in, pushing them back off. 50 seconds remaining, and it is really close. This could be anyone's game. Timus, though, doesn't see the Tracer behind him, or the team doesn't communicate. She was there for a few seconds and manages to finish off the kill. Skindred
No one
getting
can
those
hide
freezes off, and
from my
Tracer
sight.
going around from behind, keeping the harassment down. May not give him the chance to heal. And it's just continuing to be this constant test. Hanzo doesn't see what's going on. Good shield from the Zarya. 2 brought back alive by Mercy that just spawned. Also trying to keep some delays. We've got 2 tanks in the front line. 17 seconds remaining. Nox finally taken down by the back line. Card is just barely within range. Snowboarder looking to get a lot of damage down. Doesn't have the ultimate yet. Just the 2 tanks, but they're taking down 1. It's the Roadhog stopping them. 2 more come back up. Nox going in. And the offensive Zarya ultimate gets everybody in. Gets 2 more down. The Reinhardt follows up. Mercy's taken down, so there can't be a defensive res. Tim is trying to get a lot of damage. Tim is really good, or as that Reaper, dealing with some of those large-bodied tanks. Illo sitting in the backside, trying to get some sniping. Good ultimate by Mr. Dandy. A lot of damage being able to be brought right back up. Snowboarder frozen out from the defensive Mei ultimate, but now we've got 5 back up on the defense. They are pushing them off, and it looks like the legendary hull just meters away from the 4th point. I'm not sure how the rules work in this situation.
Play of the game.
Огонь по готовности!
Capture the farthest objective will receive an extra point, or if that's a tie as well. So they both capture the farthest objective. They will need to play a random control map to break the tie. But I'm gonna need to drop out for that. I've got another game that I've got to cast. I hope you enjoyed this really close match on Watch Point Gibraltar. Come at you in just a moment with our next